idea what the sentiment was there?
Yeah, no, he said it's been an awesome journey, and one that he won't ever forget, and we'll cherish these moments forever. And I didn't have anything to go back with him because I was tearing up, so it was quite tough. He said to me before he goes, "You gave me donuts." I said, "I had nothing. I couldn't talk." But yeah, no, it was awesome. It was a great feeling as well to walk out there with him.
I know you've spoken a lot about this over the time, but just the influence that Candace has had on your career, both when you came back from England in 2013, and then obviously what you went through 2018 and everything in between, but just the influence that she's had on.
Yeah, Candace had a significant impact on my career, 100%. I think, early doors, I probably didn't understand what it was about to be an athlete at this level. I was burning the candle at both ends. She actually didn't understand how we drank so much as cricketers, and I said to her, "That's how the cricket is." I said the cricket was like that back in the day, and it's something that you do at the end of the day, a day's play. You crack open a beer, and coming from an individual based athlete with Iron Woman, you've got to put your self pride and your ambitions first before any of your social activities. And she trained the house down, and from day dot, when she was getting up at 4 a.m, and me thinking she's crazy, it only literally took probably 4 or 5 days before I got up at 5. I slept in a little bit longer and got up and started doing things. And then from there, it sort of just kicked on. I got a lot fitter. I was more hungrier, more determined. And then, it was sort of something that really sparked me to get into that sort of second gear and understand what it's about to play cricket for Australia, and how to back up and be physically fit to have longevity in the game. And I owe her a lot of credit for that, and where I've ended up now at 37 years of age, still running hard between wickets, running after those balls in the outfield. And then the fortunate enough thing to marry Candace and have 3 beautiful daughters is an amazing thing as well. And I cherish them every single day. And we live a very, very nice, simple life at home with the girls, and we enjoy each other's company all the time. And I still learn from her, even with her media stuff. And even though she tames me down a bit and looks over my tweets a little bit before I send them out. Sorry, Mel, but back in the day, that's probably why nothing's been fired out of late. But yeah, no, she's definitely had a massive influence on my career, and it's I'm blessed to have her.
Dave, congratulations, mate. That was it was a special reception when you were walking off the field. Can you just talk to us about how much that means and what you were thinking at the time too, as the pavilions, and the ground stood up?
Yeah, look, it meant the world to me. I've given absolutely everything, to play this game, and to sacrifice a lot of things to be in the position that I am. I've had a lot of ups and downs through my career. I've had to come back and overcome adversity. I've done that, I think very, very well. I think it's been well received from a lot of people, and I think today just showed to me that, I do have a lot of support. And I'm very, very grateful for that and very thankful for that. Because as I said, I've got a lot of passion, a lot of pride wearing this baggy green, going out there playing for Australia. It's a privileged position. It's one I don't take for granted. And I just want every kid out there to keep focusing on playing Test cricket, and girl out there to aspire to get this baggy green, because it is the pinnacle of our sport.
Dave, the way you batted today, I imagine was a factor of trying to take the stinging out of the game and the way the pitch was playing to go at them a bit, but it was also, I guess, a bit like full circle for you, given the way you came into international cricket and the statement you made against South Africa all those years ago. Did it sort of feel nice to go full circle in the way you batted in your last Test innings?
Yeah, and I said to Marnus when I was out there, I said, "Man, I've got nothing to lose." I said, I'm going to go out there and play the way that I do. We always talk about having the dance when it's spinning like that, and the ball's got variable bounce, and I've always said low totals, you've got to come out and be very positive, and that's what I set out to do. And Marnus actually complimented the way that I play. He even said for himself that he went out there and was able to actually get going and look to rotate strike and strike at 80 plus. And, I think with Marnus, some of his best hundreds, when we've had 100-run partnerships, we've been able to do that. We've been able to put pressure on the opposition and score freely. And I think today was a great platform for him. I know he's been working really, really hard, with his hands and his bat, face coming down and not getting the runs that he would have liked the last 12 months. But it looks like he's found that winning formula again. And, I'm looking forward to seeing him take on the West Indies.
And can I just take one more? I know there's been... Okay.
Got plenty of time.
I know you've spoken a bit about who the top of the order looks like in the future for Australia and have been told to have your opinion, but just generally speaking, do you think it's possible to manufacture an opener if someone hasn't opened before in Test or first class cricket, or should it be a specialist role long term?
Look, I wasn't an opener. I had to learn on the run. It's something that I had to do, and it was challenging. But I think from my perspective, my game is to be attacking, and my defence takes care of itself. A traditionalist opener will go out there and look to, leave length, play the ball on its merit, probably not be as aggressive. Can you develop as a batsman if you're not opened? I think you can. At this level, you'll adjust. I've always said this, that the higher the level you play, the easier it gets because you know where the bowler's going to pitch the ball. But the repetitive nature of where the ball is and how you're going to have to score if that is the hardest part. And I think, there's a lot of good credentials out there at the moment that can actually take that position. It's whether the selectors want someone who goes after the ball a bit more, someone that's in the squad at the moment, or a guy that is actually a traditional opening batsman.
David, there was a sweet moment just after the national anthems when one of your daughters just hung on to you, and you spoke about the role Candace has played. Like, what has fatherhood done to you, and how much has it changed you as a person?
She'll take your Crocs if she was in here. Yeah, look, it's special. It's really, really special. Like, I know we're role models, and as a parent, like it's always a constant battle at home with the niggling between each other, and me allowing them to do it and then trying to pull them up a little bit. But when you got moments out here like that, I think it was Isla. She's like, why don't you come and play with us? And I'm like, I've got to go out there and I've got to work. I've got to go play. So she doesn't understand it, but the other two now, it's very, very special because they love playing on the weekends. I went down there recently and they asked me to warm them up, and then all of a sudden I'm hitting them catches and they didn't want to play because they wanted me to keep hitting them catches before they went out. So little things like that make me really, really smile and really proud of what I've been able to achieve, because it's sending a message to the young girls out there and the young boys as well that are aspiring to play cricket, to have a go. And that's all I want for my girls, is to have a crack in life. We're not going to lead them in the direction that they need to. They'll have their way. But that was really, really special out there with Isla, that's for sure.
Dave, one thing Uzi said during the game was, reference to, I suppose, instances where you might have said or done things on the field and sort of done it because it was seen as a team thing to do at the time. Are you interested in obviously you're going to play some white ball cricket in the next little while, but I guess becoming a coach or a mentor in the future, so that, I guess, having had that experience yourself, you can, I guess, impart some wisdom to some younger guys?
Yeah, I've got ambitions later down the track to potentially coach. I'll have to speak with the wife first to see if I'm allowed a few more days away. But yeah, look, I think early doors, like when I came in to the team, the way that I went about it on the field was to get in people's faces, to upset them and to get them off their rhythm when they're batting. And, it was sort of, I was moulded into sort of being that person. And then quite clearly I stopped drinking for 2.5 years. The coach was calling me Reverend, and sort of didn't like the way that I was, which is uncanny. But, from my perspective, I felt that I could still give the same energy on the field without actually having to sort of get into that battle with the opposition. And then obviously comes down to actually playing with a lot of the players as well. So, when I first came in, I didn't understand the sort of the nature of playing the opposition because I didn't know who they were. So I was never going to have to sit down with them, have a beer and get to know them, because it wasn't like that back then. But then obviously IPL changed, 2020 cricket changed, and you're in the change rooms with a lot of these guys. And I think I've changed a lot of other people's opinions as well that I've played with and have gone at, and then come into contact with them by playing with them, and they've totally changed their opinion of me as well, which is the nature of what cricket's about. I think that's where, I don't think you'll see that kind of sledging or anything like that anymore. I think it'll be just like, a bit of laughter, a bit of banter, like me and Shane or Haas. And I think that's probably the way forward. I don't think you'll see the old aggression again. But, yeah, for me, it will change in 5-10 years' time. If I am coaching, I think the whole dynamic will be changing. And it'll be more about cricket specifics and how you're winning games, and not about how you get under the skin of batsmen when you're out there.
Take a few more, Mel.
How do you want to be remembered?
Look, I just want to be remembered probably as an entertainer. Somebody came on the scene from white ball 2020 cricket. Somebody gave it his all. I've been authentic. I've never changed. I've said it how it is, and I still will. I believe in that, of being true to yourself. And just making sure that, I'm continuing to be a role model for the game, encouraging people to get out there and giving it a crack. Playing Test cricket, I've been brave, I've been bold, I've had to play the same way, and take it on. So purely, I just like to be remembered as someone that took the game on, pride, passionate, and left no stone unturned.
Put us out of our misery and tell us what happened to the Baggy Greens.
Baggy, you're going to have to ask security.
So it wasn't you?
I wish I played a prank like that. You'll have to ask Frank, or who's the other guy? Stu Bailey. I literally got it handed to me and then there was nothing. That's legitimate.
Just on your innings today, Dave, like playing reverse sweeps and sweep shifts and stuff like that, like was that fun, and is that something you're going to miss? Like I know you're still playing T20 cricket, but are you going to miss doing it in Test cricket?
Yeah, look, I encourage guys like Steve Smith, Mitch Marsh, Travis Head, all them guys to do that because it's entertaining. I want to see a lot more of it. But from my perspective, look, that's how I play. That's how I wanted to do it. I didn't get that chance in India. I quite clearly broke my elbow. But in those games there as well, that was my game plan to do that over there. The new ball's always challenging. Even like today, the way that I got out, that one skidded on. So they're the ones that, like, you can't negate that. You saw Alex Carey, same thing. You're going to get one with name on it. But, yeah, look, I enjoyed the way that I went about it out there today. Played with freedom. I was relaxed. Quite clearly, I'm always calm and clear, but today was, the end. So I wanted to go out my way, and disappointed with how I got out. But, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Dave, obviously, kind of looking forward to what's ahead. You've got T20 cricket, I guess that starts this week. We heard you might have a bit of a mad dash to get back for the Thunder on Friday from your brother's wedding.
Yes, I've got a couple of aircrafts booked, pending weather, and I'm trying to figure out. I quite clearly can't remember how long receptions or the wedding actual party, that stuff happens. So I think it's at 3:30. It's a fine line. I've asked, I've requested a time, but yeah, I think it's about 45-minute drive from Cessnock, so I might be tight, but I'm trying my best to try and make it work for that day, definitely.
Yes.
Dave, do you think the T20 World Cup could be your last tournament for Australia?
Oh yeah, definitely. That was my sort of finishing goal. If I wasn't getting to hear Test matches, that was my finishing, or my last hurrah was the 2020s. I think starting my career at 2020 cricket and finish my career at 2020 cricket, I think it's fitting. I really enjoy the game. I really love the game. But most importantly, I want to win another World Cup for Australia. It's the last 18 months to 24 months, the way that this team, or all three formats, have been playing is phenomenal under the leadership of Paddy, and the vice captains and just the team itself. Everyone's so calm and relaxed. And I think that, a lot of credit has to go to the coach. I think Andrew McDonald, since taking over, it's a bit chaotic at the beginning of that, but, a guy like him just makes everything so calm and relaxed, and it's very, very simple in front of us, the way that we can go about our game plans. I think he's got the room in the right space, the right headspace. When you walk in as a youngster or been in and out of the team, you can just see the way that they go about the business, that they're relaxed and they know their the position in the team, and there's no added extra pressure or anything. He's just nice, cool, calm, and collected. And the boys are in great hands, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they go the next 3-4 years under their leadership.